Debt service coverage ratio, the pulse of commercial real estate. One of the largest sectors in our nation is commercial real estate, which is also a lot more complicated than you think. There are numerous elements and moving aspects in every real estate transaction that help move a purchase or sale along, as well as everything that goes with it. This can apply to discussions, assessments, agreements, contracts, renovations, and so forth. Despite the fact that most people are familiar with the fundamental concepts and procedures, many of them are not aware of what debt service coverage ratio is or the critical role it plays in commercial real estate transactions. What is debt service coverage ratio? Also known as DSCR, the ratio of a business or a property's net operating income to its debts, expenses, and obligations is known as the debt service coverage ratio. This makes it easier for lenders, financiers, and investors to assess a company or property's capacity to pay off loans or mortgages using the property's cash flow. In residential real estate, DSCR is the equivalent to debt to income, which is based on your personal income. But in a commercial setting, it's based on the property's income. How can we ascertain the DSCR? Consider a scenario in which the debt service coverage required by the lender is 1.2 and the debt to service ratio for a mortgage is $100,000 per year. After deducting their costs, such as taxes, gas, heating, insurance, and so forth, the lender will want to demonstrate that the property is still generating $120,000. This guarantees that the property is making enough money to cover its cost and mortgage with a cash reserve. The lender needs to know if the amount left over after deducting expenses like gas and electric from the property's income may be used to pay the mortgage. A debt service coverage ratio greater than 1 indicates that the business is profitable and has enough cash flow to pay off all of its debts and commitments. A corporation is more attractive to lenders if its ratio is higher, since it can take on and pay off more debt. According to the aforementioned example, a DSCR of 1.2 would mean that the asset is generating 120% of the income required to pay off the loan. If the DSCR ratio is less than 1, this means that the company's net operating income cannot be used to pay down its current debts. What is the commercial real estate equivalent of DSCR? Many businesses in commercial real estate might attempt to finance new premises to either start their operations or expand. When considering whether to finance a property, many lenders look at the DSCR as their first consideration to see if they're willing to lend, and if so, how much. The DSCR is crucial since it aids lenders in determining how much they can loan and still receive payment without the firm going into default, as well as how much of a mortgage a property can support. A DSCR can reveal a lot about a company's management, including its efficiencies and inefficiencies. Many lenders may seek loans based on a certain DSCR level, usually at least 1.25. The borrower may consider refinancing as the DSCR rises over time because there is a higher income available to pay a higher debt. Final reflections. Overall, when it comes to commercial real estate, the DSCR is a crucial consideration. Any lender thinking about funding a property will want a safety net to guarantee that their loan is paid and the company can repay it. The DSCR is probably the first metric lenders will look at, and certainly the most essential because it determines how much funding a lender is ready to grant, unlike residential real estate where personal credit is the most crucial.